There is no greater wound than the one inflicted by someone you once trusted with your heart. And yet, there is no better opportunity to practice Stoicism than in the face of emotional betrayal. When a woman belittles, manipulates, or disrespects you, it does not mean the end of your dignity. It could mean the beginning of your transformation. The Stoics never promised a life free of pain, but they did promise that you could become strong enough to endure it. This video is not about revenge. It's not about getting even. It's about reclaiming your inner power. The kind of power that no insult, no cold silence, no emotional manipulation can ever touch. This is the power of a man who governs himself. A man who is unmoved not because he feels nothing, but because he has mastered how he feels. In this 10-part journey, we will explore how to respond, not react, when a woman hurts you. We'll take guidance from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. We'll also use real-world emotional strategies to turn pain into purpose and confusion into clarity. Because if you want peace, you need strength. And if you want love, you must first learn to love your own soul more than anyone else's opinion. Let us begin. The first rule: do not chase disrespect. Pain has a peculiar way of blinding men, especially when it comes from someone they love. The woman who once smiled at you now rolls her eyes. The one who once texted sweet nothings now leaves your messages unseen. And still, like a moth to a flame, many men chase. But Stoicism teaches, never pursue what insults your soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. For it is the truth I seek, and the truth never harmed anyone." But truth is not always what you want to hear. And one hard truth is this: if a woman consistently disrespects you, she has already made a choice. Your response should not be to beg, plead, or negotiate your worth. Your first act should be silence, not as a punishment, but as a form of self-respect. Emotional beggars never get love. They get tolerated. A Stoic man never chases disrespect, because he knows this simple rule: attention is currency. If you give it to someone who mocks it, you bankrupt yourself. Why we chase? Modern men have been conditioned to confuse love with attention. When a woman withdraws hers, it triggers fear, not because she is divine, but because she became the source of your validation. You forgot who you were before she entered your life. That's not love. That's dependency. And dependency always breeds weakness. Stoicism teaches autarky, inner self-sufficiency. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So when a woman starts mistreating you, you have two options: become reactive, emotional, desperate, or become aware, centered, and strong. Only one of these choices brings peace. What you must understand: disrespect is not always loud. Sometimes it comes in silence, in delayed replies, in backhanded compliments, in subtle shaming. And the worst thing a man can do in such moments is reward the behavior. A woman tests your boundaries, sometimes consciously, often unconsciously. If she sees that you tolerate it, she loses respect. Not because she is cruel, but because human nature devalues what is freely given and overavailable. If you keep chasing, you become smaller in her eyes, and eventually, even your absence won't be noticed. The Stoic understands this. He teaches people how to treat him by what he tolerates. What you must do: when she mocks your values, stay silent, then walk. When she tests your limits, reinforce them, calmly. When she withholds love to provoke you, become still. This is not about ego. It's about alignment. You do not beg someone to see your value. You show it by leaving when they won't. In war, retreat is not weakness if it protects your army. In love, walking away from disrespect protects your soul. Remember, chasing is not romantic when the person you're running after is running from themselves. Emotional boundaries, the shield of the Stoic. In the chaos of emotion, many men forget one vital truth: you are not obligated to absorb someone else's pain. When a woman lashes out, mocks you, or manipulates you emotionally, you do not have to carry that weight. Why? Because a Stoic man lives by principle, not pressure. Seneca once said, "A wise man is content with himself." He didn't mean isolation, he meant emotional independence. And that independence is guarded by boundaries. What are emotional boundaries? Emotional boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They don't block love, they block abuse. They don't push people away, they protect your inner peace. If you've ever felt drained, confused, or manipulated after an interaction with a woman, it's likely your boundaries were weak or invisible. And when a man has no boundaries, he becomes a playground for other people's emotional storms. A Stoic man doesn't allow that. Common violations you must recognize. Guilt tripping. If you really loved me, you'd. Passive aggression, the silent treatment, sarcasm, or indirect jabs. Blame shifting, everything is your fault, always. Invasion of space, demanding answers, reactions, or emotional labor on command. These aren't signs of love. They're tests. And if you pass them by compromising your dignity, you fail yourself. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about controlling yourself. How the Stoic responds. He notices the pattern. The Stoic sees beyond the moment. He recognizes recurring emotional traps. He names the boundary, calmly, firmly, without fear. I don't allow yelling in my presence. I won't be manipulated with guilt. He follows through. If the line is crossed again, he leaves, temporarily or permanently. He doesn't negotiate his peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let her emotions rage like thunder. Your boundary is the mountain it crashes against, unmoved, unbroken. Signs you've set strong boundaries. You no longer fear her anger. You no longer chase to make things right. You feel peace when alone. Her moods don't control your moods. This isn't about superiority. It's about self-respect. The Stoic doesn't punish, he protects. He doesn't explode, he exits. Your energy is your responsibility. And anyone who repeatedly tries to rob it should lose access to it. Because love without respect is manipulation. And peace without boundaries is fantasy. When love becomes a weapon, there's nothing more intoxicating or more dangerous than love turned into a weapon. At first, her affection feels like light. Her attention gives you energy. Her words make you feel seen. But one day, without warning, she pulls it all back, not because you changed, but because she now knows you need it. This is when love becomes control. And control is never love. The illusion of conditional love. Stoicism teaches us that the wise man never places his peace in the hands of another. Why? Because what they can give, they can take. And when a woman starts to love you conditionally, when every embrace is a reward, every silence a punishment, you must recognize the trap. Conditional love is not love. It is leverage. You'll hear it in phrases like, "You made me act this way. You don't deserve my time right now. I'll be sweet again when you change." This is not a partnership. This is a power play. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." A man who fears the loss of someone else's affection has already lost his freedom. The Stoic remains brave in love, not by being cold, but by refusing to be controlled. The Stoic response. When love turns into a weapon, most men try to disarm it. They explain, justify, apologize for sins they didn't commit. They hope if they just behave better, she will return to who she was. But she won't. Because this version of her, the cold, punishing, manipulative one, is no accident. It's her new strategy. She has found that her silence hurts you more than her words. And the more you chase, the more powerful she feels. A Stoic never fights for a cage. He steps back. Not to hurt her, but to save himself. He asks, "Is this love growing me? Is this relationship rooted in mutual respect? Am I compromising my values to keep her calm?" If the answer is no, He chooses distance over destruction. The inner fortification. Epictetus taught, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. The same is true of someone whose love controls you. You must reclaim your power, not through revenge, but through emotional self-sufficiency. You must remember, you were whole before her. You do not need validation to feel worthy. You do not beg for consistency, you embody it. The Stoic doesn't argue with manipulation. He sees it, names it, and walks away from it. Love is not a transaction. It is a gift. And when it becomes a threat, it ceases to be either. Let her go, not with hate, but with honor. And walk forward, not with bitterness, but with boundaries. The power of strategic silence. Silence is not weakness. In fact, when used correctly, silence is the ultimate power. It is the weapon of kings, the shield of the Stoic, and the language of mastery. When a woman hurts you, with words, indifference, or rejection, the natural response is to speak, to react, to defend. But the Stoic knows, true control lies in what you don't say. Why silence is more powerful than words. In emotional conflict, noise feeds chaos. The more you react, the more fuel you give to the fire. But when you choose silence, not out of fear, but from clarity, you become the mirror that reveals everything. Seneca once said, speech may conceal the truth, but silence never does. Silence makes the other person face their own actions. Without a target to provoke or manipulate, their power dissolves. Types of strategic silence. Silence after disrespect. You do not engage with insults. You do not respond to raised voices. You leave, physically or emotionally. Silence during manipulation. When you're being guilt-tripped or gaslit, your silence disrupts the pattern. You do not reward bad behavior with attention. Silence as self-preservation. You do not explain your standards to those who repeatedly cross them. Every time you choose silence over chaos, you choose self-respect. The difference between silence and cowardice. Let's be clear, silence is not retreat. It is restraint. The coward is silent because he is afraid. The Stoic is silent because he has already decided. When you refuse to engage with drama, you reclaim your mind. You see her anger, her games, her silence, and you don't let it shake you. You become the mountain in the storm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This is your goal. Master the internal retreat. Results of strategic silence. You become unpredictable, and therefore powerful. You stop feeding toxic patterns. You shift the energy dynamic. You force others to reflect instead of react. She may lash out more. She may test your limits harder. But you do not flinch. Because your silence is not empty, it is full of meaning, full of self-command. And if she cannot understand the language of respect, even when spoken in silence, she is not meant for your presence. Silence isn't about ignoring people. It's about prioritizing peace over ego. You are not obligated to respond to everything that offends you. You are not required to chase someone who withdraws love as a tactic. You are a Stoic, and the man who commands silence commands himself. Detachment, the Stoic's secret weapon. There is a power stronger than anger, deeper than silence, and more liberating than revenge. It's detachment, the quiet decision to no longer suffer over what you cannot control. The Stoics believed that freedom begins where attachment ends. Not detachment from life, or from love, but from outcomes, expectations, and emotional dependency. When a woman hurts you, whether by betrayal, coldness, or games, detachment isn't weakness. It's wisdom. What is Stoic detachment? Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care deeply, but not destructively. It means you love, but don't beg. You stay, but only where you're respected. You feel pain, but don't become pain. Epictetus wrote, "Seek not that events should happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly." This is the Stoic's way, to remain calm not because the world is calm, but because his soul is anchored. Signs you are attached and suffering. You check your phone constantly, hoping for her message. You feel anxiety when she's distant. You replay conversations, wondering what you did wrong. Your mood is dictated by her attention or rejection. This is the cage of emotional dependency. And the key is detachment. The process of detachment. Accept what is, without resistance. She hurt you. Don't deny it. Don't excuse it. Accept it. Reality is not your enemy. Illusion is. Observe your emotions, but do not obey them. Feel the sting. Let it pass. But do not act from pain. The Stoic watches, but does not flinch. Release expectations. She is who she is. Wanting her to change keeps you chained. Wanting nothing gives you wings. Reconnect with your inner authority. What does she think of you? Irrelevant. What do you think of yourself? That's the battlefield. That's the kingdom. Detachment creates power. When you are no longer hooked by her attention, her approval, or her validation, you become a man who cannot be manipulated. She may test you. Withdraw love. Use silence. Seduce, then reject. But none of it lands, because you've left the emotional battlefield. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Not the quality of her affection. Not the frequency of her texts. Not the loyalty of her love. Your power is internal. Your throne is your mind. Your peace is your choice." Detachment doesn't mean walking away coldly. It means walking away wisely, when staying costs you your soul. The Stoic man does not fight to be loved. He lives to be free. And freedom begins the moment you stop needing her to heal what she broke. Boundaries are love in action. There is a common lie in modern relationships, that love means unconditional tolerance. That to be a good man is to endure anything, stay through everything, and always give another chance. But the Stoic rejects this lie. Love without boundaries isn't love, it's self-abandonment. True love begins with self-respect, and self-respect speaks through boundaries. What are boundaries? Boundaries are not walls. They are not punishment. They are clarity. A boundary is simply this. This is what I accept. This is what I do not. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Boundaries are the test. They reveal who you truly are, and who is truly worthy of you. Signs you lack boundaries. You tolerate disrespect because you're afraid to lose her. You constantly explain yourself to someone who refuses to understand. You forgive repeatedly without any change in behavior. You feel drained, anxious, and resentful, but say nothing. Without boundaries, your love turns into servitude. Your presence becomes a doormat. And your soul, silenced. Stoic boundaries are simple and firm. A Stoic doesn't scream his limits. He lives them. Emotional boundaries: you will not be guilt-tripped, gaslit, or manipulated. Time boundaries: you do not overinvest in someone who underinvests in you. Respect boundaries: you walk away the moment you're insulted, not after the 10th apology. Physical boundaries: your space, your body, your energy, they are not owed to anyone. How to set boundaries without drama. Calm, clear statements. Say what you need once, without fear, without apology. Follow through. A boundary without consequence is just a complaint. Detach from outcome. Whether she respects it or not is her test, not yours. As Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. When she crosses the line, and you stay silent, you're teaching her how to treat you. When you walk away without chaos, you teach her what a man of honor looks like. Boundaries make you magnetic. Weak men are always available. Always apologizing. Always bending. Strong men, Stoic men, demand respect by how they carry themselves. This energy is rare. And rare energy commands attention. Even if she leaves, She never forgets the man who refused to betray himself just to keep her. Love without boundaries is just fear in disguise. But boundaries, when rooted in strength and self-awareness, they are love in action. The Stoic knows. You don't lose people by having boundaries. You lose people who were only there to benefit from your lack of them. And that, my brother, is not a loss. It's liberation. The art of walking away without looking back. There comes a moment in every man's life when he must choose between staying where he is comfortable but dying inside, or walking away, alone, but alive. The Stoics taught, when a situation becomes dishonorable, when a person repeatedly violates your peace, leaving is not weakness, it is virtue. To walk away without begging, without drama, without looking back, that is the highest form of power. Why walking away is so hard? You're emotionally invested. You still see her potential. You hope she'll change. You fear being alone. These are human feelings, but they become chains if you allow them to decide your destiny. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." You imagine the pain of walking away. But the true suffering lies in staying in what breaks you. The Stoic mindset on letting go. A Stoic doesn't walk away in anger. He doesn't need to prove anything. He walks away because the situation no longer aligns with his values. The relationship may have started with passion, but if it now costs your peace, your dignity, your purpose, it must end. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." She may not respect you. But do you respect yourself? The process of walking away. Make the decision internally. Once a line is crossed and your peace is gone, acknowledge it. Withdraw with calm dignity. No long texts. No emotional outbursts. No revenge. Just space and silence. Reclaim your time and focus. Pour that energy into your mind, body, mission, and purpose. Let the void be filled by growth. Burn the fantasy. Don't grieve who she was. Accept who she is, and who she chose to be. What happens when you walk? She may chase you. She may get angry. She may play the victim. Or, she may never come back. But you won't wait. You won't hope. Because the Stoic man doesn't walk away for a reaction, he walks away for his freedom. Why you must not look back. Looking back is the temptation to return to your old cage, to the illusion that, this time it will be different. But if nothing changes, neither will the pain. The Stoic doesn't romanticize the past. He lives in the present. He understands, whoever you had to beg to stay, was never truly with you. To walk away is not to lose. It is to win back the most important thing in your life, yourself. The Stoic man knows, peace is not something others give you, it is what you build by choosing yourself over and over again. So walk away. And never look back. Rebuilding the inner fortress. Healing after emotional damage. You've walked away. You've chosen yourself. But now comes the hardest part, healing. The Stoics understood this deeply. Pain is part of life, but suffering, lingering pain, emotional torment, that is a choice. And the wise man does not choose it. He chooses transformation. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. This is your time to become the master. Step 1. Face the wound without shame. Too many men distract themselves with new women, endless scrolling, overworking, or silence. But the wound you refuse to face festers. The Stoic looks pain in the eye. Ask yourself, what truly hurt me? What did I allow that violated my values? What did I learn about myself? Not to blame, but to build. Self-awareness is the first brick of your inner fortress. Step 2. Detach emotionally, not coldly. Detachment does not mean apathy. It means refusing to let external forces dictate your internal state. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That means, She may have hurt you, but she cannot define you, unless you let her. Release resentment. Not for her, but for yourself. Because every second you stay angry is another second she controls you. Step 3. Rebuild your daily discipline. Pain steals routine. It paralyzes. You stop training. You stop creating. You stop showing up. But healing is not an emotion. It's a practice. Wake up early, reclaim your mornings. Move your body. Let pain leave through sweat. Journal daily. Purge chaos through words. Read the Stoics. Feed your mind with order. Discipline restores dignity. And dignity heals deeper than time ever could. Step 4. Define the man you are becoming. Don't just move on. Evolve. Who is the man that emerged from this fire? Is he more patient? Is he clearer in his standards? Is he devoted to something bigger than himself? The pain was the test. But the lesson is power. Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. So use this season. Forge a new version of yourself. Step 5. Protect your peace like a king. Your peace is your kingdom. From now on, guard it. Prioritize it. Let no one violate it, no matter how beautiful their disguise. You've suffered enough. Now, build. A Stoic fortress is not made of stone. It's made of discipline, purpose, and radical self-respect. You were wounded, but you are not broken. You were betrayed, but you are not bitter. You were disappointed, but you are not destroyed. You are reborn. And this new man, this Stoic, fears nothing. Because he's seen what it's like to lose himself, and now he will never allow it again. You've walked through the fire. Now, stand on the ashes, and rise. Testing for true respect. How to know if a woman honors you. Every man desires respect. Not just love, not just attention, but respect. And yet, most men don't even know how to tell if they're truly being respected, or merely tolerated. The Stoics didn't chase love, they valued character, integrity, and mutual honor. If a relationship lacked virtue, it was unworthy of pursuit. So how does a Stoic test for true respect? The foundation: self-respect first. You cannot demand what you don't embody. A woman respects a man who respects himself, in his time, words, body, and mission. If you constantly break your word, chase her approval, tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict, then you're not leading. You're negotiating your worth. And the Stoics never negotiated with weakness. Respect test number 1. Boundaries. Set a boundary, calmly, clearly. Watch her reaction. Does she mock it? Does she test it? Or does she honor it? If your no means nothing, your presence means nothing either. As Epictetus taught, never depend on the admiration of others. There is no strength in it. Test. Can you say no without fear? Can she hear no without rage? Respect test number 2. Time and availability. Withdraw attention for a while. Focus on your goals. Delay responses. Does she stay supportive? Stay loyal? Try to understand? Or does she guilt, chase, and accuse? A woman who respects you knows your mission precedes her mood. If you are punished for being disciplined, you're not respected, you're used. Respect test number 3. Conflict response. Disagreements reveal truth. In conflict, does she listen without interrupting? Argue the issue, not attack your character? Apologize when wrong? Or does she resort to shouting, insults, manipulation? True respect is most visible when emotions are high. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The Stoic stays calm, but he observes everything. Respect test number 4. Words versus actions. She may say she respects you, but does she show up when needed? Speak highly of you in public? Protect your dignity in private? If words and actions don't match, trust the actions. Stoics believe in observable virtue, not empty speech. Respect test number 5. Vision alignment. Is she inspired by your mission, or constantly trying to reshape it? If your goals are always too much, your standards are too high, your vision is unrealistic, understand this. She doesn't respect where you're going, and she'll subconsciously sabotage your path. Seneca warned, associate with people who are likely to improve you. A woman who truly respects you will push you forward, not pull you down. Final thought. Respect isn't begged for, it's observed in silence. In how she speaks to you. In how she listens. In how she treats your absence. The Stoic tests, not with traps, but with truth. He watches. He waits. He walks when respect is gone. So don't chase admiration. Command respect by embodying strength, wisdom, and peace. And always remember, the woman who respects you will never make you question if she does. Becoming untouchable, the Stoic man beyond pain. In the final chapter of our journey, we reach the pinnacle of Stoic mastery. Becoming untouchable, not by avoiding pain or hurt, but by transcending their power over you. What does it mean to be untouchable? It means no external force, no insult, no neglect, no emotional wound can shake your inner fortress. You remain calm, steady, unshaken. As Epictetus teaches, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Step 1. Accept what you cannot control. You cannot control how others treat you. You cannot control her feelings, moods, or actions. But you control your judgment and response. Let go of expectations. Accept reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Step 2. Build inner resilience through virtue. Virtue is the only true good. By cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you build an unbreakable character. This character becomes your shield, your armor. Step 3. Practice emotional detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference or coldness. It means observing emotions without being overwhelmed by them. When a woman hurts you, acknowledge the pain, but do not feed it with anger, resentment, or despair. Recognize the pain as a passing cloud, not your permanent state. Step 4. Focus on your own path. Your life's purpose and growth come first. Even if the relationship falters, your mission remains. Stoics believe, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Step 5. Respond with grace and strength. When confronted with hurt, respond with calm dignity. Silence can be more powerful than words. Your peace is your power. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey into Stoic wisdom. Remember, true strength is not about avoiding pain, it's about mastering your reaction to it. The Stoic man is untouchable because he builds an unbreakable fortress within, grounded in virtue and calm. Keep practicing these principles daily, and watch how your life transforms. If you found value in this video, subscribe and share it with others who seek the path of wisdom and resilience. Stay strong, stay wise, and above all, stay stoic.